Yo, what is going on, YouTube? So we have some trades to cover. Obviously, you guys saw the trade we took during AM session, which was a loss. It was on ES, not NQ. We were basically trying to get long after this 15-minute displacing candle back up. Had a nice, what I felt like was a bullish PD array, or what could have been. Obviously, not thinking about what's already happened today. Thought we could see one more push up for the London highs and maybe this 4-hour inefficiency on ES, but wasn't the case. So took a loss this morning of about 5 handles on ES, unfortunately. But coming into the PM session, I actually have a lot of trades to go over with you guys. Let's see. I took one trade by myself where I didn't alert the Discord, mainly because I saw it late, entered, and by the time it was just too quick. I wasn't able to send it out. And by that time it was already moving, so I didn't want people to chase the trade. And it was a quick little scalp for me. So I will turn on my executions so you guys can see how I traded. Boom, executions. So coming into after lunch hour, so I'm going to mark out lunch. We've got, for me, it's Central Time. So 11 a.m. Central, 1 hour behind New York time, to noon. This entry also came during lunch hour, which is not something that I usually try to do, but it is what it is. So basically, the reason I liked this trade, I was watching price right after I had got done uploading the YouTube video from this morning, and saw we had this nice breaker pattern after running out these highs, and then we tapped into this inefficiency on the 15-minute time frame and had this breaker formation in the form of these two up-close candles. And this breaker also had nested in it a 1-minute fair value gap. So I'm just going to delete that, mark out that fair value gap. And this is why I wasn't able to alert it in the Discord. So basically, price, when I finally realized it, we were about to close on this candle, and then we were getting into this candle. So as soon as it popped up into there, right away, I just market executed a sell, one contract right there. As you guys can see, 15.022.75. So just marking that out, 15.22, that's 25.75 was my entry. So right there, right in the middle, stop was above the high, 17 handle stop loss. And then I originally was going to try to take this thing all the way down for the PM session lows from, I believe it's Wednesday, or is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Okay, so I was gonna aim for these lows, and as you guys can see, that would have played out in hindsight. But what happened is we were already beginning to take out the lows on ES, and I didn't want it to have, I didn't want it to have it form bullish SMT against me. And I also saw that we were taking out this low right here inside of this 5-minute fair value gap. So when price came down here, I didn't close right away. I wanted to give price a chance to see if it would pull back to this fair value gap or not, or if it would just disrespect and keep going. And then basically price does look like it's going to respect, and as this candle came up and closed above 50% of this gap, I just went ahead and closed the position. So one contract bought it back 988. So 988 even right there. So pretty much right at that TP1 level anyway. And that's where I got out at. And then price did pull back up to that inefficiency here, 1-minute fair value gap. I believe this is also a gap on the 3-minute, 5-minute time frame. So very nice gap here. Price came back up into, wasn't sure if it was going to hold or not. It did, sold off. And then obviously at this point, in my opinion, seeing these gaps hold, I was feeling pretty bearish, but I didn't give up fully on buys simply because there was a SMT that had formed at the lows with ES. So by the time this low was put in, ES had already taken out this low right here. So we had bullish SMT with ES at that time. So at that time, saw this displacing price up. And what I did was I drew the fib from this swing low to this swing high. Oops. Right there. And you guys can see that right below equilibrium, I believe, I don't know if it was the 1 minute or 2 minute I used. I think it was the 1 minute. Either way, I wanted to just enter off of a fair value gap inside of that equilibrium right below it. So this was my entry to go long, drawing up the trade, long position, and I did alert this one in the Discord, by the way. So stop loss was below the low here. The only thing I didn't like about this trade was we had equal lows right at our stop loss, but we did have that SMT, and I felt like this was good enough displacement that we would see at least one bearish PD array get traded to and through. So once price shifted above this high, I removed risk, told everybody else to remove risk, and then this was TP1. So TP1 was right there inside of this fair value gap here on the 1 minute. Let me delete this. You guys can see 1 minute fair value gap. That was TP1. What I was doing though for final TP was I was aiming for the recent high. So that would have been final TP right there. However, this was TP1, and at that point, I only had one contract on for NQ, so I just left it run. And mainly I did that also because I had already caught this trade. So I already caught this short from here to here, which was about 35 handles. So I caught 35 handles down already on NQ with a contract. So then here I just got stopped out at break even, which was fine. At this point, shifted completely bearish. Why? Because we're seeing every single bearish PD array be respected. We saw this fair value gap respected, nice push down, new low. We saw this bearish fair value gap get disrespected, displacement down, new low. So at this point, okay, we shifted, and I said, well, here's our relative equal lows, and we still have that big sell side liquidity level intact, which I think will get taken now at this point. So what I did was, I'll put you guys in replay mode here so you guys can see exactly how this all played out. I already gave away what happened, but here we are on the 1 minute time frame. What I did was I drew up gone box, swing high to swing low. I said, great, equilibrium is right inside of this fair value gap, and it lines up with this order block. Absolutely beautiful, in my opinion. So this was the trade that I alerted in the Discord. Entry off of equilibrium, stop loss above the high, or right at the high, 17.5 handles. And then this was going to be TP1, these lows. And then this ultimately was going to be our final take profit right down here. So just to show you guys what happened, there's two entries I got to show you guys with this move down. So price obviously doesn't pick us up, comes right to the very hot low end of that gap. It didn't really even get into it even by a tick. It just came right to the bottom of it. Didn't get into that equilibrium part. So then we see price sell off and take out the lows. So at that point, I delete the limit order, delete this, don't worry about it anymore. And at this point, we're watching price. I see price go down. I'm expecting it to take out this low, but it doesn't. Watch this. Comes down, puts in another equal low or relative equal low right there. At that point, noticed we had an order block right here, and we had a fair value gap right here. Here's what I did. Fair value gap, drew it up. We can see that we're tapping into the order block or the fair value gap already. But this order block right here was where I had the entry set. And the other reason that I had the entry set right there is because if you take this whole price leg down and draw a fib on it, I wanted to have the entry right at equilibrium or very close to. So here's equilibrium right there. As you guys can see, 50%. Dropping down, we're on the 1 minute already. So entry looking something like this. Stop loss was going to go above this high, targeting that low that hadn't been taken out yet. You guys can see price comes in, doesn't pick up the sell limit by about a 1.5 on NQ, and then we sell off and we take out that low, and we're still selling off to right now, I believe. So unfortunate, missed these two shorts, tried getting short here and tried getting short here. Neither one was gonna give it to us, unfortunately. But yeah, was able to catch TP1 here with the Discord, was able to catch Full TP on this trade down. What happened to my executions? They just like disappeared. Anyway, okay. Well, yeah, so I'll show you guys the trade of 8. That's where we're at currently, about 1% in profit. All in all, and, you know, it could have been a lot more today. Just wasn't able to get picked up on some of these entries, unfortunately. I'm not sure what happened to my executions and why they disappeared. They were on here when I first started, and now they're gone. Anyway, weird. Sounds good. But anyway, I hope you guys caught some of the moves today. It was definitely an interesting day. We have a ton of manipulation from the looks of it, just looking at this daily time frame. Scaling in here, I'll delete these. You guys can see how yesterday's daily candle rallied, and then today's daily candle just wiped everything out. So this is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. You know, you're not gonna see this very often. Weekly time frame comes up, grabs the weekly high, and then obviously we're dumping. I still think we could expand lower. I think this becomes the draw now. Let's get out of this. Oh, that's why my executions aren't showing. It's because I'm in replay mode. The more you know. Anyway, so I think this is going to become the draw, and here and here. But I think we'll expand lower. I think we'll expand through both of these levels. Truthfully, obviously time will tell, and we will see where we are at come tomorrow. I'm not trading tomorrow AM session. We got Jerome Powell. I'm going to be speaking during AM session, so only looking to really trade PM session.